what tips might you have for somebody who has to make a major mindset shift? Maybe they're not leaving a terrible relationship, but maybe it's a terrible job, or maybe it's making a career decision that seems unthinkable to them because they're, like you said, trying to keep safe.
Yes, and I love what you're sharing is because in my view, what I've seen around in a coaching world is that the coaches who lead through embodiment and therefore we become vulnerable, sharing those stories, are the most powerful in terms of really inspiring their clients to take the actions that they want to take in their life. And there is something that can very much stand in our way of shifting from unwanted to wanted reality, which is our loss aversion bias. It is a psychological bias, and we're all kind of experience it in different times in life where we are more committed to protecting what we already have than for taking the risk to gain something new that we haven't experienced, because we've lived with this what we know. And sometimes we hear those stories, the evil that you know is better than the one that you don't know. So it's a lot of that is in our cultural programming too. So whenever I start a journey with anyone, I would tell them, take a look at your life and the change you want to make, and where you are today, and think about it. What is the most likely foreseeable future if you don't do anything about it, if you stay where you are in this dynamic, whatever it is? And when people think about, okay, I can get through today, I can get through tomorrow, but when you think about, okay, what is the next 5 months gonna look like? What's next year? How 5 years? And when you start thinking not just about yourself, because we can endure a lot and sometimes we don't put our self-care first, but when we start thinking about the ripple effect on other people, if you are not nourishing yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of your kids? How can you be there for your students, for your clients, for your community members?
Right.
You cannot pour from an empty cup. It's as simple as that. So when you start looking outside of yourself and see how much more you would be able to do, not just for yourself, because no one wants to be selfish. We are innately kind and heart-centered human beings. But when you start looking at how much more you could be for others, in your family, in your community, or the world, I always find that clients get more inspired about this, and they see that their life matters, because everyone's life matters. So that is the first step, to see that. And I think when you start balancing it on a scale of, is it worth it? Then you see what's at stake, what's really at stake, what's the difference you can make in your children's life, in your community's life. And that is a powerful motivator.
Absolutely, because people tend to be motivated by what they need or what they fear. And I think if people understand how they can be motivated, it makes a huge difference.